What's up, guys? This is Corey here with Toothless Reptiles in San Diego. As always, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and our Facebook page to keep up to date with clutches and all that good nonsense. If you watched my last video, you know where I'm going. I'm on my way to the San Diego airport again to pick up another male black dragon. This male is actually originally wild caught from Thailand. It just came over into the States, I want to say like a month ago. So it's fresh import straight from the importer, and it's being sent over from Florida to San Diego now. There's a few things you need to do with an import that hasn't been treated for anything, and the first thing you need to do is quarantine it. So what we're gonna do is, I have a small 6 foot by 3 foot, you've seen them on my hatchling videos, those same size enclosures, but I took out all the substrate, put a small water dish in it, so the monitor's not going to be able to soak in it. It'll have to poop on the actual cage, and it's all just covered with packing paper. And the idea is that I can get the male monitor out, put it in that enclosure, feed it, wait for it to poop, take that poop sample to my local vet, and they'll actually look at it under a microscope or do their thing. It doesn't take very long to do, and they'll tell me whether it has parasites or not. So in my current situation, I really need that male in with my female as soon as possible. So I'm going to isolate the male, take the fecal sample up, get it checked out. If it's fine, I'm going to put the male in with the female and breed them. And then I'll take the male back out, quarantine it for the proper amount of time, which you should quarantine a monitor through its entire treatment process, because it's going to need oral medication for deworming, and usually oral medication for parasites, just to be safe. And the thing is, with my setups, if I have a large male monitor in any of my enclosures, even if it's not in any of my other monitors, all of my ponds are connected with a filter system, so there's a chance of cross-contamination there also. So I really don't want to risk it at all. This will be actually the first import, high-end import I've ever brought in. It was just kind of the cards I've been dealt right now. I have to bring something in to breed, but it actually turned out it's really cool. So it's an awesome looking male black dragon, no flaws at all. It's huge, and it is straight from the wild in Thailand, but it looks really unique. So I'll let you guys take a look at it when I get it, but that's the plan, and that's what you should do if you bring in an import. You really need to isolate it, get it checked out, and then go from there, you know. And it doesn't take long to treat them. It's not hard to treat them. It's just something you need to make sure you do, just because the risk factors, if you have, not only are you risking the animal's life because it has parasites and it's coming over and it's probably going to die or live horribly for the next year or so until it eventually dies, but you're risking giving all those parasites to your other monitors. And you know, I've seen people not clean out enclosures well after they've had a monitor die of parasites, and then the next monitor that comes in gets the parasites that are still hanging out in the enclosure. So it's just a bad situation all around. So that's the plan anyway. So as soon as I get it back, and I'll unbox it and I'll show you guys exactly the setup that I have in there, then I'll get that sample out to the vet tomorrow sometime, and we can go from there. So we'll see how he looks when I get him out of the packaging, and we'll take a weight on him. That's another thing you're going to need if you're going to get medicine from the vet without taking the monitor there. You need to have a decent weight, or decently accurate weight, to be able to give the vet so they can dose out the medication. So you know, we'll go from there. So keep feeding. What's up, guys? So we're back at my house now. And you might be wondering why it's daytime all of a sudden, and that's because it's 2:30 p.m. the day after I was supposed to receive this guy, and that's thanks to none other than Delta Airlines. Not only did he miss his connecting flight from Atlanta to San Diego, but I went to go pick him up last night from Delta, and they didn't tell me that he had missed it. So they said, oh, well, we have no idea why it didn't make the flight. And they said it'd be on the next flight the next morning, the soonest flight the next morning. And went back down there this morning at 10 o'clock in the morning to receive the monitor, and they never put it on that flight either. So I've been down there 3 times now, and luckily it finally went on the flight that landed here at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And he's here. He's still alive, which is good, obviously. He's at like 66 degrees, so he's not frozen, but he's cold. So let's get him out. First thing I need to do with the import, if you watch the beginning of the video, I have this cage all set up, and then I'm going to need to get a weight on him, so I'll leave him in the bag while I go weigh him real quick. So he weighs about 8 pounds, which isn't bad. So let's open this bag up and get him out into the enclosure. As you can see, this enclosure is just covered with paper. I have a hot spot and then a small water dish, and there's food in there already, so we can get him in there and then collect a fecal sample and send it down to the vet and have him check it out before I go ahead and put him in with any of my other CBB monitors. And then hopefully if he's okay, I can put him in, but I'm still going to end up treating him. I just won't treat him now. I'll treat him after. Hopefully he breeds with Toothless. So let's see how this guy looks. Okay. Well, let's get him in there. So there he is. Fresh male black dragon import from Thailand via Florida. So this is the new male. He's not a happy camper, but he's calming down a little bit since we got him here. And I've already collected a fecal, so I dropped that off at the vet's office yesterday, so I should have results on that tomorrow, on Monday. So hopefully if everything comes back fine, we can move forward with getting him in with the females and hopefully do some breeding and try to stay on schedule. So hope for the best. We need a little luck around here. We've not had a very good 2 weeks, so keep feeding.